What if Minecraft didn't exist? What would be different for you? Honestly, it'd probably save my life.
I'm going to get emotional too, but I just can't imagine it. Hello and welcome to The Lab, a Minecraft podcast where we explore, experiment, and theorize about all things Minecraft. I'm Minor Thoughts, and with me is the man that was voted Best Wood in 2023, the Trode.
Yes, looking to back up again in 2024 there with Best Wood. Hopefully we get some new wood with the update. Minor, hello, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to our listeners. What a year 2023 has been.
Oh, yes. Very eventful year. I mean, there's a lot we could talk about. I think today we're just going to talk about the highlights, things that we watched, we experienced, not really a top 10 or a top 5, just the highlights of 2023.
Yeah, what got us invigorated and what we enjoyed. And I think we touched on it in a very recent episode. For me, I think the biggest thing that came out of 2023 has to be Decked Out 2. Decked Out 2, just something else. On totally the next level there. That's Tango, you probably won't listen to this podcast, but if you ever do, thank you for just months and months of just awesome content that I got to share with my kids. You know, the laughs, the work you put into that over such a long time was definitely so worth it. And thank you.
The amount of work that was put into that, it's mind-boggling. That, like you said, we had that discussion about Decked Out, and as of recording, they said that Hermitcraft Season 9 is ending, so we should see a world download, hopefully first next year, and we'll get our hands on Decked Out as well.
And Tango did say on a live stream that he was going to go through it and make sure it was all stocked, it was all set, it was all ready to go for the world download. And hopefully he releases the audio tracks as well, and hopefully he releases the resource packs, because I know there's a lot of people that are going to want to be playing Decked Out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's one of those things. And I think some people in our community are wanting to set up kind of a Decked Out 2 server that we can all go and run together.
Yes, I'm aware of a couple that are going to be working on that. I contemplated it, then realized that's a massive time sink. And then there's other people out there that are already going to work on it anyway. So that's fine. Cannot wait for that. And I guess the good news is, if you're enjoying watching Decked Out runs, I think once that world download comes, you're going to be able to still see your favorite smaller creators playing Decked Out for the first time. Those that weren't lucky enough to make it onto Hermitcraft to play. So I think Decked Out is far from over.
Right. It's one of those things that it's a momentous thing that I think is going to have some life beyond just this iteration.
As we said in that Decked Out episode, the mini games episode, it's something that could stand alone very easily as its own thing, even separate to Minecraft. It could stand on its own. So yeah, just absolutely simply amazing.
Speaking of Hermitcraft, one thing in 2023 that stands out for me personally is the just sheer work and grind that Doc M77 put into his base area. I know I've mentioned that before, but oh my God, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This is his best season yet. There's a lot of work that he put in while trying to have raise a brand new child, a new family. So I want to commend Doc M77 for the amount of work, and I'm excited to see what he puts into the next season. I mean, how can he top it? It's just, and this is one of those seasons that I feel for a couple of those creators on Hermitcraft is, how are they going to be able to top this season?
Well, that's something with the content creation journey, isn't it? how do you top what you've done? And, as a smaller creator in that sphere as well, is how do you compete with those that are doing big, massive things? In the end of the day, I guess the solution is just you do you, boo, and just do what you can do and have fun and enjoy the process. I didn't watch too much Hermitcraft this season, I'll be honest. I started off watching a lot of Impulse. I started off watching all the usuals, Mumbo, Ren, Grian to an extent, definitely Scar and B-dubs, but I don't know, I sort of fell away on some of it. It sort of didn't capture me the way it has in the past. I consistently watched Scar's stuff all the way through. Obviously Mumbo went on a huge break, but yeah, I don't know. There's some Hermitcraft didn't capture me over this last 12 months as much as it possibly has. I definitely followed Scar's progress because I think the build that he did is just that. I say this probably every episode, but what he has done with Scarland is a work of art. It is just absolutely incredible. The thoughts, the design, the way it looks, it's fantastic. And, and I watched B-dubs as well because, I just genuinely enjoy his content and I genuinely enjoy his build styles.
Other than Hermitcraft, is there anything outside of Hermitcraft that stood out to you throughout 2023?
I think what I enjoyed this year, just in terms of our own community, of the Interrealms community, we obviously brought some new people onto the server, into our community, which have fitted in exceptionally well. But we also had a couple of events where we invited content creators and our friends and whatnot onto the server. We had the big the PvP event where Anubis invaded our world, which is a ton of fun. And then obviously recently at Tom Recording the other week, we had our Christmas event where I think we had almost 20 guests spread out over the time on the server come on and play mini games with us, and that was just an absolute phenomenal event. And I don't think any of us have laughed so much in a long, long time. It was so much fun.
Definitely. And looking back at season 1, when we had a Christmas town and some mini games there, this year just blew me away, the amount of work that was put into Christmas town and the Christmas event, getting that all prepped, and then the sheer amount of people that showed up. Like you said, I was just blown away. I kind of felt, if I'm being honest, overwhelmed.
To think that event went for 28 hours, I think it was. We had guests on the server the whole way through there. Not all the same, but there was people popping in and off, guests and our own members through that whole time. I think it's close to probably one of the best events or best. To me, it was the best live stream weekend that we had yet. I think we've done 6, from the server this season, this world, I should say. And I think it's the best one that we've done. That, to me, I think is one of the highlights of the year. When we're talking about Minecraft highlights, that tops it.
Right.
For me. That tops it.
Right. And like you said, we had guests on there that have been on before that were in the PvP event. Then we had some guests that were invited, some people that I hadn't met before that are really starting to become part of the community. And also someone else that kind of to segue into another thing that happened throughout this year. One of the people that was invited was a Rainbow Lista, and he was part of a Subfest gift and the ANZ Subfest that you took part in, which I watched a lot of that. Some of it was at work, while waiting to get loaded with the loader rock. Everything that went on during that, and then how it just, I don't know, this is just me watching it. For you, I mean, how did you feel about, was that one of your highlights of the year?
So yes, simply put, it's a content journey. Obviously we talked about our Minecraft highlights, but this is the content creation journey, I guess. And yes, that was probably the highlight of the year. I had a couple of highlights this year with content. I hit over 1,000. We finally hit that 1,000 mark on the primary Minecraft channel. that I've got there, which doesn't sound like much to many, but if you listen back, I think to the earlier episodes of this season of Minecraft Lab, the Lab, a Minecraft podcast. I think you'll hear us talking about, you've just hit 50, you've just hit 60, and we've ended the year at, I think it's almost 1,400. So that's nice to see some good growth there. I like the fact that this podcast that you're listening to, we started this season. This is, season 2. This is our first season as a standalone podcast, because last year, if you're only new to listening to us, last year we started out on the Interrealms podcast, where we were a once a month segment amongst a whole lot of other things that we did on that podcast. And then coming into January of 2023, we went, we're going to be a standalone thing, still on the Interrealms network, but it's our own separate podcast. We stand alone. And, I shared with you, Miner, earlier this week, the chart of the growth from January to now. And I don't know, to me, that's a highlight. Just to see how much this is just growing over the last 12 months it's honestly mind-blowing.
Schedule willing, we want to do even more in 2024. We've got lots of ideas for guests. If you are listening to this, we're looking for topics. I'm looking for fresh wood.
Is my wood not good enough for you anymore? Is that what you're saying? My wood's not good enough for you anymore? Wow.
No. You misunderstand me. I need new, fresh ways to describe your wood.
Magnificent comes to mind.
I can't do it all alone. So we want to get more in touch with our community, our listeners. You're out there. You're listening to us. And I'm just blown away by those, the amount of listeners we've had in 2023.
Yeah. And the fact that, some of these are, engaging with us in the community as well now. We got Dabs there, Master Sanity, that popped through actually onto my streams. That was a whoa moment for me, we're just this tiny little podcast that we have some fun with, and, it's leading into connecting with people. And I think that sort of rotating back to what you asked me about Subfest there, and sort of bringing it back to the content highlights, there were two real moments for me that really stood out in terms of the live streaming content that I do over on Twitch, which you can find me at the One Troj over on Twitch if you are interested in connecting. In September, I'd done my first ever subathon. I'd never done one before. And, we set a goal for the community to bring back the wiggle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, don't worry, you're not missing much. But, I was absolutely blown away, by what the community did in September there with the subathon for September. And I thought, this is as good as it gets, you get those warm, fuzzy feelings there, like, you're making a difference in people's lives, like you're there to entertain them, but you also connect with them as well, and that's mind-blowing. And then, lo and behold, the next month I get invited by Twitch to participate in the Australia and New Zealand Subfest, and I was like, whoa, this is different. I'm not expecting that. I think I was one of the smaller creators that were actually invited from what I saw, and you look at the goals there and you're going, well, we're coming up to Christmas time. We're just coming off a subathon where a lot of people have, given a lot of bits and subs and donations already. So, we're going to hit, I think personally we might get to level 4, which is great. That's awesome. Would love to get to the level 6, for a personalized Twitch hoodie with my branding and the Twitch branding on it, or like an official. And it's like, I don't think we'll get there. Not only did we get there, we got there with days to spare. We ended up actually getting to level 7, and I was moved to tears a few times actually during that sub fest. Yeah, I cannot believe the support, the love, the encouragement that comes through from that community. Yeah, I still have trouble thinking about it, to the point that it makes you wonder sometimes, what would the journey be like? What would things be like? What would it look like if A, I had never discovered Minecraft, and B, I hadn't started content creation? It's an interesting question in and of itself.
Right. And just to bring you back to earth, one of those goals was to do the Hot Ones Challenge with me sometimes next year. So hopefully, I think we try to do that live. Okay, I've been kidding around about doing it, putting it out there to different creators, and I thought, it's not going to happen. And then this man right here goes and hits level 7, and one of his goals was the Hot One Challenge. I'm like, well, dang, I guess I got to do it now.
They're getting out of it now. But mine, I'm going to look at taking a bit of a tangent here from the prescribed thing, because we've sort of stumbled upon a topic I think that might actually be really interesting to round out this year a little bit. Is what if Minecraft didn't exist? What would be different for you? And following on from that, would you still be making content?
I began my content creation journey on YouTube before I even discovered Minecraft. So I would probably say I would still be in content creation. I started off just playing random games, then got into making coffee review type videos or coffee related type videos, which I still like to get back into. But this podcast thing, the lab, I don't know if we'd be doing this. I mean, because would I have met you? Would I have joined a group? Lots of things to think about.
I can say my life would probably be very different without Minecraft. I've always been a creative person. I enjoy to write. I'd always wanted to tell stories in some fashion. One of my other hobbies was and is underwater photography and making travel video sort of things. Again, never enough time to do those sort of things. So I had been making content on a small channel there called Be Back After, but not too much has happened with that in recent times. So I'd been making videos. Would I be into content? Probably not as hardcore as I am now. I can probably honestly say I would in no way be live streaming, and I think it would be very unrealistic of me to say we would be doing the podcast. Now, I've known Keegers. So for those that don't know, Keegers02, he, for lack of a better term, is our producer behind the scenes. He's the brain, not the brainchild. He's the brains of the podcast outfit and the technical side of Interrealms and everything we do in that aspect. So I'd known Keegers for a long time prior to Interrealms and him joining Interrealms. We'd met online 15 years ago or more, probably on a different game. We'd always stayed in touch. And I honestly don't think we'd be doing the podcast because I had an idea for a podcast, but never knew anything about it. And then Keegers had mentioned to me, we thought about doing a podcast, and that led to last year doing the Interrealms podcast. Keegers only really discovered Minecraft and content creation when my son started his YouTube channel and then wrote me into it. And Keegers, gave the support. So that's where he discovered it all. So I don't think I'd be involved in podcasting if it wasn't for Minecraft, to be completely honest. And I guess taking it a step further as well, I can honestly say my life would be very, very different overall on the whole. Look, I always knew that Minecraft was a thing. Always knew it was a thing, but I thought it was this kid's game that with bad graphics, how could anyone play that? And then my son, I think it's the back end of 2019, said, I want to start a YouTube channel. He'd watched Dennis. I don't know whether Dennis is still an active channel or not. My son was inspired by him and wanted to make a YouTube channel, and he was going to base it around Minecraft. So I helped him set that all up, and then he said, well, basically, can you help me, Dad? And then that help turned into, can you be in the videos with me, Dad? And then it all sort of bloomed from there. But what a lot of people don't know is at that same time, I was going through really dark places. Both in my head, in real life, really was in a pit, like there was depression involved. There was a lot of things. It was just a bad time. And I'll forever be grateful to my son for introducing me to Minecraft, because I discovered Minecraft through him, and I fell not in love just with the content, because it allowed me to get back in touch with my creative side that I had buried for such a long time. But it provided such a needed escape for me at a time when I really needed it, and I didn't have one. It allowed me to close off for an hour or two every now and then and just not think about things that were getting me down. And it probably saved my life. Between my son introducing me to the game and the game itself, it probably, honestly, I'm not even over exaggerating this, it saved my life. So I'm getting thinking about it. Please take over from here.
Right. Not to remind you of this, just think of the community, the people you met through Interrealms, through Minecraft, the people we've met, recently. People have been touched just through this game. And I've seen this community grow. It's not like leaps and bounds, but it's on an upward trend. And we've got a good group of people. And then there have been stories. You told me stories about people that you've talked to one-on-one, where they're just like, thank you for being there, just for streaming or whatever. And with this the Subfest and the live stream weekends, I could never imagine that it may seem small to bigger creators, but to us, I mean, this is huge. It's this year has been huge for Interrealms, in my opinion. And I don't know, I can't imagine a world without Minecraft. I mean, because it's opened creative outlets for other things, for this podcast, or planning, and just getting out there and meeting people, actually doing an Interrealms meetup someday. I mean, that idea has been tossed around. So I just through Interrealms and through the game of Minecraft, I've met some amazing people, and people that I could actually call family. I know we joke around with the wives and the uncles, the crazy uncles, and the and if you don't know what we're talking about, it's totally over your head. Just never mind. But it feels like family. And I'm going to get emotional too. But I just can't imagine it.
Yeah. The amount of people that I've met as well, like over this 3-year journey. Yeah. Like you, I basically consider you family. I speak to you more than I speak to some family members. And then there's others in the community as well that, I'm not going to name everyone specifically, but, you feel an affinity to them, a connection to them. And, you would never have met these people, all around the planet. You would never have met, and there's people there that, that were there on day one when the server Interrealms first opened, and they're still here. And you go, we've known each other now for 3 years, probably 3.5 once you take into account setup time and planning and all that. You're all family. And, I appreciate every single one of you. And those that have come in more recently, that have joined for season 3 or looking to join for World 4 or whatever, it's, and then you got all those, what people call Interrealms adjacent people who play on other servers, but the minute we open the door for asking for guests, they cannot wait. They jump on in, it is honestly amazing. And, for me, there's no better, even still today, when you're feeling, you've had a crappy day at work or something like that. There's nothing better sometimes. You close that laptop down for the day and you go and you start up Minecraft. You see who's online, you look at Discord and you jump in the chat. In life sometimes, without going into specifics, it can be quite lonely at the moment, things that are happening in the real world. So, it's good to have that connection with people too. And I guess one thing, we are at a time of year where a lot of people traditionally can struggle at this time of year for various reasons. Just know, if you're listening to this, you are never truly alone. Someone out there loves you. Someone out there appreciates you. To steal Keega's lines from the Oversimplified podcast. And if you are struggling, it's okay to not be okay. Find someone, reach out to someone, have a chat. It's, I went through it, and just finding someone to talk to and having someone there, it can go a long way. So if you are struggling this time of year, as many people do, it's nothing to be embarrassed or anything about. Find someone to reach out to, and someone out there loves you.
Yeah, there's someone that will listen.
100%. It certainly is. Man, boy, did we get off on a tangent on there. Sorry about that.
I mean, how many people could say, my coworkers at work, ask me, what are you going to get into this weekend? What are you planning? I said, just going to hang out with my friends from England, Australia, Denmark, all over the world. Like, oh, okay. how Minecraft or, just chatting, doing whatever. We're family and friends. I mean, and there's always someone around that you can eat, even if it's just a couple of us, that's what I think we've been striving for since the beginning is just a sense of community.
It's more than a Minecraft server.
Mhm.
It always has been. It's been obviously based around a Minecraft server, but it's more than a Minecraft server. And that's going to become even more prevalent in the new year with some changes that we'll be working on. No spoilers, minor, and some new things.
Right.
So I think it's coming into a very exciting little phase over the next, say, 5 months or so.
Speaking of spoilers,
Oh no, I'm bracing myself.
starting next year, a new segment.
Oh no,
That's all I'm going to say.
I know where this is going. I saw the tweet. Yes, I am going to start slapping you.
I'm already working on the merch for that. So no spoilers, minor. But yeah, we've got some plans for 2024. 2023 has been a good year, and I think it's probably a good time to probably wrap this one up.
Yeah,
it's been an awesome year, and we're looking forward to bigger and better things. I can't imagine it not existing in some form or fashion, and I'm glad that the community is growing. So, if you want to join this community, you can reach out to us, join the Discord. You can go to the website at interimssmp.com. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at MC_lab podcast. Oh, I thought I was going to get this right. Or just simply leave us, send us an email at minecraftlabpodcast@gmail.com.
On a personal note, thank you for another 12 months of what is now known as The Lab, a Minecraft podcast. But no, thank you for the past 12 months. It's been fun. I think we hit our goal, of almost every month having 2 episodes out, which was fantastic. And I look forward to what we have already discussing for the next year. I very much enjoy doing this podcast with you. So thank you again for another 12 months.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for fresh wood.
Fresh wood, best wood. But also, I just want to thank everybody that listens, tunes in, watches maybe on YouTube, but definitely listens on as podcasts, because as we mentioned earlier, the growth we have seen this year is not only encourages us to go and do more and can keep going, but truly the growth from where it was to where it is right now is honestly mind-blowing. So thank you to each and every one of you. We wish you all I'm traditional. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a safe New Year. And we look forward to continuing our journey with you in 2024.
Well, I've run out of things to blow up in 2023. Oh, no, orbital strike cannon. I'm gonna build that. And you've got some kind of wood-related project you're looking at. So
Sure.
get at it, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you all. See you next year. This is where you take us out, Minor. Take us out.
Oh, this is the outro, right?
This is the outro. Yeah, mate. This is the outro. Last chance for 2023 to get it right. No pressure.
Oh, I've run out of things to blow up in 2023. Oh, no, orbital strike cannon.